in just basic problem solving of how far down do you dig into the root versus how much do you just have to acknowledge what reality is and just be fucking practical.
We have to full send. And how I phrase it to a lot of people sometimes is, like, we are at C right now. I don't know how A got to B, got to C. Mm-hmm. We can try to figure that out, but we're at C and this is what it is right now. Yep. So we can try that. But you need to understand what C is and where we go from this. So I don't feel like I'm giving any disservice by not having an answer immediately. I don't think that, like, yeah, I'm going to get better the longer I'm practicing. I know that I missed things. I know that, like, I'm not a perfect doctor yet, but I don't feel like I'm giving any disservice by saying by not having that A and B. By acknowledging C, I'm comfortable jumping into it because it's their responsibility to know what they want to do with that information. Mm-hmm. Right. So I feel more comfortable not having every single answer.
Yeah. But also, how valuable is knowing A and B?
Right. If it's not changing what they're doing with C. Right.
Like, I've always been curious about that, even just thinking about problem solving and... Because there's a weird weird dichotomy or a balance, if you will, in just basic problem solving of how far down do you dig into the root versus how much do you just have to acknowledge what reality is and just be fucking practical. Yeah. Like, I get the value of that system's judgment. Like, let's see how we got here and how does that impact where we go. Yeah. But also, we have a problem. Yeah. And we need a solution, because if we don't have a solution, we hit a period at the end of the sentence. And then it doesn't matter how we got here or where we might have gone because the sentence ended.
I think, and you know, I don't really get into the human psyche all that much, but there is a part to people's, because usually when you're talking about C, it's not like a good C.
No.
It's usually not like,
no, I don't go into happy consults with that one.
Right. So usually part of that emotional response for people, at least the caregiver, a portion of it is also like the guilt part. Well, how did we get to this? How did I miss this? Why is this? Where did we? How could I have done differently? And that was, again, my example of the one dog in emaciated with 10 other dogs on the property. They needed to know so the other 10 dogs don't go that way. So, you know, that's at least being very practical in a 10-dog setting. But then also it's like your single dog, high anthropomorphized, bond spectrum household where it's like, well, how could it have gotten this far and how did I not realize? And sometimes when it's like, you know, we can try to do A, B to get to C, but also sometimes disease just sucks. Right. And I say that and they're like, it does, you know, and it's like sometimes
that gets people sometimes who just like take it back for a second and acknowledge that it's bad right now and it sucks.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from the PAWCast Veterinary Podcast. If you are interested in watching this full episode, you can go ahead and find that right here. And if you're ready to be the force of change in veterinary medicine, go ahead and click subscribe right here to learn more. Thanks.